My friends, it is time for the KKK. That is right. They are here. They are queer. Get used to it. The KKK. This is time for Caito's Kicker Corner, brought to you by Madame Caitlin Fauché. First and foremost, Caito,
Hello.
how are
Hello.
you? It's so good to see
Oh,
you, my love.
it's my
Bubala.
love. Bubala. It's good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
First of the season?
Oh my God,
I
right?
know. I
I really
know.
wanted to have the mixture of the last Cato's Kicker Corner from when you
Yeah.
first did the Bears game, but
Yeah.
we were talking about that random guy that they ended up cutting more
Oh,
so,
right.
and I tried to edit it. I spent hours, and I want to tell you that I failed you. I
It's okay.
failed you.
We can, and I'm glad that this is being recorded because just that
Mhm.
clip in general can be used in life. Many, many situations, I feel. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Um,
We're
but
about
I've
to
been,
play
yeah,
San
let's do it.
Francisco, the
Yeah.
Niners,
Yeah.
and I want to hear your hot takes, your hot takes
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
on Cato's Kicker Corner for
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, Jake
all you.
Moody.
The stage
Should we
is
talk
yours.
about
Yeah,
Jake Moody? Okay,
let's
so
talk about him.
Jake Moody. Well, let's first start by talking about who he replaced,
Mhm.
which was Robbie Gold.
Eugh.
Gold. I mean,
Good,
and
good,
he
good.
who he did well. I mean, he did well on all of the teams that he's played on because they needed him, right?
Mhm.
Like he did great for the Bears because Bears needed kicks to win games, right?
Absolutely.
The Niners were doing really well. Here's the thing about he retired. The
Mhm.
reason he retired from the Niners is because they couldn't pay him. They didn't want to pay him. Imagine this, Chaz, a team that doesn't want to overpay a veteran kicker. Can you think of
Interesting.
any team?
Packers. I think the Packers are if I had to Rolodex my mind
Right.
of kickers, which there's
Correct.
only a couple I can think of,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be them.
Yeah. So similar situation. So they decided not to pay Robbie Gold. So they
Right.
brought in this rookie kicker, Jake Moody, who was a really solid kicker for Michigan. He calls himself Money
Oh,
Moody. Yep.
cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Social media, that's what I've gotten. I don't know if the college named him that or if he gave himself that nickname.
Okay.
Regardless, he is a pretty solid kicker, and he for his rookie year has done all right. I mean, he was about to break 60 consecutive points
This year?
until yep,
Wow.
which would have put him in the echelon of like only 4 other kickers in NFL history, right?
Right.
But here's the thing, the 49ers have never had to be in a position where they've needed a kicker to win.
49ers have never
Until
been in a position where they need a kicker to win
right, like
until
they haven't been needing that. They've been up
gotcha.
against they have
Gotcha.
gotten a big enough lead that a missed kick wouldn't have cost them the game.
Right.
Until this last game against the Rams.
Tell me
And then
more.
he really, really fucked up. He
Oh.
missed a field goal and an extra point, and they lost by a point. Yeah.
Ooh. So at
To
least the extra point could have at least tied it.
to the
Ooh, that
point where,
sucks.
and I mean, this was backups on backups for this last game against the Rams. So I mean, it was a game that didn't mean anything, and it came down to a kick, and he couldn't do it. So even Shanahan, when he was leaving at halftime, and they were behind, a reporter said, "Are you worried about Jake Moody?" And he said, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, no good. So here's the thing. Essentially, like if it comes down to I mean, this rookie's gonna lose his job if this situation happens again. So like if we can get a lead on them or we're in a position where like it's coming down to a kick, we're good because this guy's not going to be able to do it. He gets the nerves, right?
Well then, yes. So well,
But
continue,
but
but I guess my
but
first question, yeah, I'll let you go. And then my first question after your explanation would be, what's the magic against this
okay.
guy? But
Okay.
continue, but
So
continue.
here's the magic against this guy. So that's like your sports statistics. There's
Mhm.
the logic. There's the sport
The
science.
numbers. Yeah.
The numbers. Let's get
numbers.
into him as a character.
Let's do it.
Digging into the social media, which I do,
And
because we have to get into the psyche of this person. I was reading an interview. This is all true. I was reading an interview that his parents gave because I kept hearing this whole he's got ice water in his veins. He's unflappable. Mr. Calm Water. What did they call him? Mr.
Well, if they called him Mr. Calm Water, first and foremost, that's terrible. But
Well, I mean, like he's so even, very
Right. Okay.
even keeled. Oh, hi, Ty.
Okay.
Hi. So they called him like, he never, as a child, he never tantrumed. This is true. They said they only remember one time when he was 1 year old that he like pitched a fit because he never would have meltdowns, but he'd also never get overly excited about anything. His mom and his dad and his
fucking
sister.
serial killer.
Okay, you beat me to it, dude. I said, who does that remind
Does he
you
have
of?
a major
Who does that
concussion under
remind
the
you
age
of?
of 3 years old?
Who does that remind you of? Dexter.
Dahmer.
Right, exactly. The guy's always
BTK.
here. The guy's always fucking here.
That ain't
Right?
normal. That
Okay.
ain't normal.
Right. So like Mr. like cool, Mr. Cool is a cucumber kicker. This is like, of course, it's to his
Mr. is
nature.
spinning people like cucumbers is what he's doing.
So here's what's interesting too. His girlfriend, fiance, wasn't quite sure on the social media, is in medical school.
Oh no.
Right. So like, hey, honey,
He's
tell me
got
about
all the
how that
tools.
tendon's connected. Right.
Oh.
Right. Yep. But here's the thing, Chaz. What I was saying was, up until this last game, he was nearly perfect. And then this game against the Rams, he missed all these kicks. So the cracks are starting to happen. So I don't know if someone found his trophies, someone found an email, someone opened a crawl space and found something questionable. Right?
Are you saying he's being blackmailed?
No, what I'm saying is I think somebody's on to the fact that maybe the dark passenger is not in the passenger seat. Maybe.
Yeah, he went to go get his kit. And his
This is
kit
what I'm
wasn't there.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Could be any of those people in the stands.
I mean, I'm just saying Jake Moody, right? Like he knows that his job is on the rocks. And I think the only reason he was put into this situation, missing these kicks, is because the only logical reason for this to happen, judging by his college performances and his rookie year, which has been pretty great, would be that someone has figured out that he's murdering people, innocent people.
So you're saying that the downfall is in his name, essentially, too.
Correct.
Like it's not. It's a play on words, but it's not. It's just the truth,
right? Well, and that's the funny thing that like
somebody, whoever you are out there,
Mhm.
and we know that you're listening.
Right.
We see you.
Right.
We hear you. We appreciate you.
Right.
Go for conviction.
Right.
But also, wait just one weekend.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just stretch it out.
Does he leave notes for Kyle Shanahan that have like individual letters like cut out of a magazine?
Cut on magazines. Yes.
That's very
Holy
possible.
Shit.
I'm just saying. So when he's about to kick,
what do you have to say?
Again, if it gets
everybody
down,
needs to know.
Right. Again, this is a rookie who they are going to do what they can. And everything I've heard from 49ers commentators and folks kind of in that camp is that
commentators
Sorry, I'm just worried about the safety of the people of San Francisco. You know what I mean? Like
they've got money. They don't give a shit. And
no, I'm essentially thinking of like the poor murdered janitorial workers. That's what I'm saying.
Got a fetish for janitors?
I mean, this kicker does have an entire off season. I mean, he's got 6 months out of the year to.
But I guess what I'm saying is they're going to work really hard to not put themselves in a position where it's going to come down to a kick because they don't trust him anymore.
Right. Okay.
And do they not trust him anymore, or do they not trust him anymore?
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So let me ask you this: How
do we yell?
Yes. What do we use as ammunition? Like, do we know where the bodies are? Do
No,
we
right.
know where the
We
bodies
know
are?
about we know where the bodies are, you know, or like, is
like
that
it.
like, you know, like, I don't know. I think
Do we
that,
just say UV lamp? Like, what do we do here?
right. I
I-
think that I don't know. Because here's the thing. This is a new kind of evil, right? Like, I haven't, you know, like John Walsh might know what we say
Ain't
in this
nothing but a
situation.
hound dog. Like,
You know, right. So like we know about the bodies, we know about that janitor.
what's your body count?
We know
Yeah,
what you're up
that-
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
We're on to you.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can shout all of these things at this
Right.
point.
Hashtag them too.
Right. Where in the basement? You know, why did Robbie Gold retire? Is it because he was afraid? Was there a threat?
Has anybody seen him since?
I probably. That's
Right. Probably.
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 I don't think
These
he
are
would
all
murder.
questions that we have for the
I don't think he would-
franchise, for the
Right.
kicker, for everybody.
Anyway, and with that, Caito's kicker corner.
Caito, I got to tell you, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
everything you're saying, and if anything, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and there's going to be some Marky P's before the game to
Yeah.
figure out exactly what the questions are. There will be hashtags attached to the episode.
Yeah.
Post hence.
Go for it.
Because we're going to have to figure out, and I want to hear from the fans who have liked first and foremost, and I say first and foremost every goddamn episode 9 times.
Right.
Liked, shared, and subscribed. Everybody that subscribed, yes, thank you so much. But like it, share it.
Right.
Share it to all of Caitlin's, kids at her elementary school she works
Oh,
at.
please don't do
Share
that.
it to the parents. Share it to the PTAs that she's a part of. You can actually find her number and contact information at the end and comment section. Actually, sorry, we're breaking up. I'm getting a call from Tyson Fauché. Don't cut it. Okay. Thank you so much, Caito. Any last words? Not in life, but just
Sure.
to send us out.
That's what Jake Moody said.
She's got it, kids. She's never lost it. When you got it, you can't lose it. Bubble up. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
We're gonna
Until
pass-
next time.
You mean next week? Because we're gonna see you again next
Oh
week.
yeah, right.
Once we kick the shit
And
out
like
of the
between
Niners,
now
right?
and then, do a head count on your custodial staff.
Hey, oh.
All right. Adios.
Adios.
Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
You fell for it, didn't you? You fell for it, didn't you? You actually thought y'all were gonna win some playoff games. You actually thought that there was gonna be the first time that you were gonna be in the NFC Championship game in about 30 damn years. That's what they thought, Shay, didn't it? That's what they thought. They fell for it. They fell for it. They heard us talking about how they the number 2 seed. They had home court advantage. They had all of this going for them clubs, Shay. But we warned them. We spent the entire season warning them. And then I shifted gears and I got their hopes up all the way up there before it came crashing down. Didn't I tell you, Shay? Didn't I tell you, bro?
It hurt. It hurt.
It really did, didn't it? Hey, guess what, Shay? It don't hurt more than what I'm about to show you right now. Kick my music, please.
Two dads and a chance, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a chance, talking Green Bay Packers football.
We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up your air condition, cause it's bound to get hot.
Two dads and a chance, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a chance, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall.
Lombardi trophies, y'all.
Two dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, ya hosers. I got one thing to say, and one thing only. First and foremost, welcome to 2D and a C. First and foremost, let me hear you say, oh, the tears of the vanquished. Oh, that tastes so good. First and foremost,
Oh my God.
how about them Cowboys? Yeah. Here we go. My team bad. My team good. My team does stuff you wish that you would. Motherfucking first and foremost. Our team just put the green in Green Bay with the youngest team to make the playoffs in 50 years. Not only did we handily defeat the Dallas Cowboys, the number 2 seed, we absolutely destroyed their whole franchise. Gentlemen on the podcast, everybody laugh. Yeah, that's a hell tilter for sure. I'll be amazed if Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott come out of this still wearing stars on their back. I mean, hell, at a certain point, like, we took out our own starters and brought in our backups just to show how far ahead we were and how much we didn't give a fuck. And yes, they had a little bit of a comeback. But I want you to remember something. Look at the final score of this game. Just to tie the game, Dallas would need 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, and 2 onside kicks, and that's just to tie the game. At no point were we worried about losing. Now, speaking of Dallas before and their flimsy, weak-spirited fandom, let's not forget that by halftime, the stadium was almost completely devoid of any Dallas fans. I mean, Green Bay fans literally took over the stadium. Look online. You could see Packers fans, and you could hear live the chants of "Go Pack Go" on Fox. That never happens in a stadium like that, ever. Especially not to a team who hasn't lost a home game in 2 full seasons. Think about that for a second. Everyone, literally everyone wrote us off for this game. Now, one pundit, host, Vegas analyzer, or podcaster picked Green Bay to win this game. To say that the Packers exceeded expectations is a gross misunderstanding of the fabric of reality. I mean, you cannot name a single aspect of the play of this game that was not perfection. I mean, outside of the fact that, yes, there was a missed pass that Jordan Love had at the end of the game, which wouldn't give him his perfect passer rating, which, by the way, was the greatest in Packers franchise history, bitch. So please, keep underestimating this franchise. Keep telling me how unprepared Jordan Love is, that our team is too young and unseasoned, that we don't have a chance in hell of winning our next game. We love proving you wrong. Now, I can say with a full heart that outside of seeing us win the Super Bowl in that exact stadium, by the way, in 2010, this is by far the greatest game of Packer football that I have seen. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait to talk about it here tonight. So, you got cheese in your veins, beer on your breath, and Packers in your heart? Welcome to 2 Dads and a Jazz podcast. And by that, I meant Chaz podcast. We're going to go right into this, guys, as we've already done our opening song. I want to pass it off to my main man, T-Mobile. We're going to break down the opening of this game. Tyson, how you feeling, buddy?
Oh my gosh. I have never been more fulfilled as a Packers fan. I mean, I'll be honest. I've watched a lot of games, guys. I've watched a lot of football. I've been watching this team for a very long time, 3 quarterbacks, and I've never, ever been as proud of a team in their development before my very eyes. And it was euphoria, and the whole week has been great. And I just have nothing but positive. Well, that's not true, but I have almost entirely positive things to say, which for me, that's pretty goddamn good. So pretty happy to be here. I'm eager to get into this game. This was a beauty. Let's do her, Chess.
Why don't we start with that first opening drive? Tyson,
Absolutely.
my main man,
Let's do it.
Take
Let's
away.
do it. So after we select to receive the ball, we immediately get the ball in the 25 where Jordan Love is out of the shotgun. Goes to a run to Aaron Jones for no gain at all. We get a negative push, and their defensive line looks like they came to play. And I immediately thought, this might be kind of a long day. Second down, Jordan Love is sacked and the Green Bay 23 for a negative 2 yards, which I'm like, again, except for they got a penalty for illegal defensive contact downfield. 5 yards.
Giving him the business. He was giving him the business.
And that is the pinpoint moment when the Dallas Cowboys lost confidence in their ability to play football for the next 3 quarters. They are in free fall. Now, Chaz, play the clip.
Yes, sir.
At this
Here
point,
it comes.
Aaron Jones lining up here. Love sits back, rolls the right, off his back foot. Oh, my God. Beautiful throw. Beautiful throw right to Romeo Doubs. 22-yard pickup. At this point, it seemed like we had figured out already what their defense was going to do. They were going to blitz 2 guys. One of them is going to be a middle linebacker. They're going to have a safety come up and take that spot. As a result, we have Christian Watson in the game. They're going to have 2 guys on Christian Watson. Everyone else, they're going to be in zone. So Romeo Doubs, you just run through those zones until you get a nice open spot. And this is going to happen all day. And it's amazing to watch the effect that our team had by just having an effective offensive line, the ability to hold on to the ball for an extra fraction of a second. And what that equaled for a player like Romeo Doubs, who I wouldn't call our star wideout, but to this game, he was a star. I will say that. Chaz, you can keep playing the clip.
Opening up the running game. Let's go, baby.
All right. A little Aaron Jones, baby. AJ, you had a big game. Right off the bat, I'm seeing him open up gaps, run into these quick pickups one after another. They can't stop it. They're in trouble. Now they are moving back. They got punched in the mouth at this point. Again, Jones up the gut.
13 yards.
Pushing dudes over. Look at that little number 14. That's their linebacker, guys. That guy's 206 pounds. That's not a linebacker. You can't put that up there. You know what we're going to do? We're going to run all over that guy all game long. And they don't change their plan. Musgraves had a really nice game. Really solid. Welcome back. No drops.
He had a quick out there in the beginning, but I would want to continue with this run game, which was a powerhouse from the start of this opening drive, which leads us to this moment. Tyson, take it away.
That's right. Jordan Love out of the pistol, hands it off to Jones, right up the gut, following his guard and Zach Tom, and just gets right in there for a touchdown. Honestly, guys, I thought that it was one of the most evenly balanced opening drives I've ever seen this team play, and we overcame adversity right off the bat. At that point, we had a really good game plan. We knew what they were going to do. We knew how to beat it. We knew how they were probably going to make changes, and we were ready for those. Like, I saw a team that was completely outcoached, completely out-schemed, and another team that did the thing I've been waiting for all year. They caught the ball and they didn't miss tackles. And if we did that all year, guys.
That play clock was at 7 minutes by the time they scored. Excellent precision of managing play clock, but continue.
But yeah, I just wanted to just kind of go in general and talk about the offensive line. Guys, I don't understand how this offensive line was playing as tight. Where are your guys' reads on the O-line's performance?
I want to jump back real quickly. I just want to make this one statement, because I got off the phone with my best friend right before the game where, coin flip goes. I always want my defense out on the field first, right? Like almost always. My mentality is like, hey, let's get the stop. Let's shut the crowd up. Let's kind of get a feel for the game. We win the coin toss. And for the first time I can't remember him doing it. LaFleur is like, no, we want the ball on offense. And at first I was like, God, dude, what are you doing? Only to quickly realize this motherfucker has the utmost confidence in this offense to put 7 on the board and just move ahead of the fucking game and stick it to the Cowboys right out of the gate. All of a sudden, their entire game plan is out. and it just completely flipped the script. I was just really proud of Matt on that in that move. Okay, sorry, yeah. Oh, line? Jesus Christ, boys. I've never been more impressed with a line that has played musical chairs during the year. We talked about all that. And all of a sudden showed up against what I was told is like one of the best pass rush in the league. Micah Parsons, this motherfucker is supposed to be elite. Let me pull this up here right now.
It's
Hold
close
down.
all day.
Hold down.
Not close. Not quite
Hold
there.
down.
Not close.
All right. So the Cowboys led the NFL in pressure rate this season with 44.7%. Every time, like almost half the time, they're getting to the QB. On Sunday, they only pressured Jordan Love 4 of 21 times. 4, y'all. Micah Parsons, this guy had the top pressure rate in the entire NFL throughout the NFL season. You guys know what he ended up with today? I don't know. He doesn't even show up in the goddamn stat sheet. So, Tyson, you asked me how the offensive line played. They goddamn did their job, but it doesn't stop there. It was Jordan Love getting rid of the ball quickly, moving out of the pocket and, like, creating when he needed to. And it was a group effort like it has been the past couple of weeks, boys. It's got me excited for Saturday.
Yeah, Jordan Love, the chess master of that offensive line, really deserves a lot of credit for diagnosing defense scheme, audibling to what he has to, communicating. I saw everybody, when he checked, I saw everybody on the offensive line checking. And I think that was a huge part of that win, was whether it was Jordan Love going audibling from pass to run or run to pass, the communication and just the preparation was there on that. And that's how you get 5 guys who've played musical chairs and rotated and in and out to work in a well orchestrated way, is because he was playing conductor and it was working.
Yeah,
They asked like a Senovich, I think it was like 2 weeks ago too, to being like, hey, you like this musical chairs thing? Like, I just feel like you guys aren't prepared in the game. He's like, we're prepared every goddamn game. This is what we do in practice. We're rotating these motherfuckers, letting them know they don't have a job on a regular basis, and we're excited about the results, I guess.
No, but really, like, John Runyon has not played better guard all year. These last 2 weeks, I'm like, holy shit, this guy is run blocking. He's walking guys back. He's holding his spot against like all pros, not just like shitty players, guys. These are good defensive tackles that used to throw this dude around. I think that he needs the rest, man. Maybe he just doesn't have the stamina to be an all game right guard. He needs like 30% of the snaps off, so he can just go and, I don't know.
Coach, I can give you a solid 30. Maybe
I
70.
can't
Sorry.
give you the whole
Solid
game.
Yeah, just so you're saying, just give him a lollipop and like sit him down for a bit, or like
Whatever
you
it
did a good
takes.
job,
Listen, whatever it takes to get these results, I'm down. I don't care if they're giving him hand jobs on the side belt line for that 30%. He's playing better after the hand job.
I would take that job in a heartbeat. Put him into the blue tent. But it ain't the blue tent, it's the pink tent. You know what I'm saying? I'll get in there and I'll fucking.
What happens in the tent stays in the tent. But listen, I really am blown away at the evolution.
I'd be on the field, by the way.
This is the same offensive line that couldn't get anything fucking right in the month of October. This is the same quarterback that I was like, this ain't the guy in October when he looked bad. And this team, he had the same bad footwork, but he was missing all the throws too. He had the same wild throws he's trying to make now, but they look bad. Now we're hitting that shit. His arm talent. Can we move on to Jordan Love for a second? Because his arm talent was on display, dude. I did not realize what a gun this dude has. I mean, there were some throws. It's the best fucking throw I've ever seen. It's amazing. I'd say that about Brett Favre back in the day when he'd make some throws, and I'm like, oh my God. Rodgers, certainly, but it was more the technique. It's more the pinpoint accuracy. This gun in it shit has got me excited, dude. It's got me excited. He was throwing, Mayhew, you said he was getting rid of the ball quick. I'd say he was decisive with the ball. He was holding on to it, I'd say about almost a whole second later than most quarterbacks should. Like, he was letting a lot of these balls on rewatch go a little late, crazy off his back foot, falling down at a crazy arm angle, but he was making the throw like perfect. And that's where I'm like, well, you can't stop that. You cannot stop a guy when you have him and he just like dips down and somehow throws between like 14 dudes' arm at a weird upward trajectory to like a guy that's falling down in the end zone. That is the greatest throw I've ever seen in my life. That one to Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah. Where he threw it around the guy.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
No, it was incredible, dude.
Yeah.
There's no comparing it. I can't think of a better ball I've ever seen in any game than that one. It was a putting the league on notice. And the worst part is the league didn't get the message. I still see nothing but San Francisco picks. I still hear nothing but crying, crazy fucking old Cowboys fans talking about how that game was rigged, how we paid off McCarthy, about how we, you know, are you going to count that as a win for real, man? Like they didn't even come to play. Look, man, there was some throws there that there's not any humans that can make that throw. I don't know if Jordan Love could do it again. He was just feeling the moment, just letting it rip. Like Matt said a couple years ago, what he needs to do, he's finally caught up to it. Now you see this guy just playing. You see his athletic ability on display. And I'll be honest, if I was another team, I'd be shitting bricks. I'd be scared because this guy is a difference maker, and that's exactly what you need in the playoffs.
Tyson, I couldn't agree more. Our boy Jordan Love left his best game of the year for his first playoff goddamn game ever. Highest graded game of the season arrived in his playoff debut. He earned elite grades from clean pockets, under pressure, when blitzed, when not blitzed, off play action, with no play action. Woo! Connected on 4 passes of 20 or more yards in the air, and was 8 for 10 for over 200 yards on passes of 10 or more air yards. This guy was just slinging it all over the field effortlessly. And we talked about playing within the offensive line. T-Bone, there was multiple moments where he now, I can see it, like post-snap, it's slowing down for this cat. And not only that, he understands how to manipulate defenses, how to use his eyes. He picked up all these things like through Rodgers, whatever you want to fucking call it. But it's simultaneously culminating at the end of the year, going into the playoffs in a fashion that everybody's talking about it. Let's talk about that, fellas. Every goddamn NFL analyst that thought we were shit in October cannot wait to get on the Jordan Love train right now. Yeah. Colin Cowherd, I know you listen to this pod. You're a fucking asshole. Okay?
Oh,
end of statement.
Fuck that guy.
No, one more time. You're a fucking dick.
Fucking
okay?
asshole, that guy.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not my father-in-law. I'd fucking hate going to Thanksgiving.
Fun stat randomly, fellas. Okay, keep going. Just so you know it's there. Just so you know it's there. Just so you know it's there. Just soak that in for just a second. Just for a second. The Packers have as many playoff wins at the AT&T Stadium as the Cowboys. Doesn't that just, like, it's the tears again. Like, I thought Bears tears tasted good on my Wagyu steaks down here, and I got to tell you, they don't feel as good as just watching grown men throw their TVs out for blocks around my house. Like, they're setting bonfires, which sucks because we don't get a lot of rain here, but, like, it just, it tastes so good.
There's got to be more to that. That post, because they didn't win shit. They haven't won a playoff game, I don't think, at AT&T Stadium.
Well, if we're talking about bear tears too, Chaz, you see the meme of Sean Clifford has more playoff snaps than Justin Fields.
Yes.
Totally fair.
A lot of clever folks out there. God bless you.
Oh man, I love
like
Sean Clifford.
Nothing describes it better than like this is like just a child's joy, which is what I felt.
Oh, this is the
from
greatest.
the opening drive to the end of this game. This is literally how I felt. I've been walking around. The week before, I was in full Packer regalia, and for the entire week since, I have been in full Packer regalia. And I will, if we only, and I'm not getting into San Francisco yet, but here's the thing. I talked about the fact that we did more than exceed expectations. If we only get to this moment and we lose this next week, which I think we have a really good shot, we'll only have exceeded expectations as far as everybody thought we could do, because we'll go, hey, you made it to the playoffs. But I got to say, beyond all of that, this franchise has just solidified my love in love. And that's it.
Yeah, I definitely have this game in general, and as we continue to break it down, it's to me it was the ultimate gift. It was the gift that the fans deserved. When you can see this person develop over what would usually take a quarterback 3 years of effort, we see kind of happen over a 1-year plan, and then arguably outplays everyone. Rodgers at his fucking peak maybe didn't play as tight of a game and didn't complete as many balls in high difficulty percentage balls. And, like that, even if that's as good as we get, guys, we'll always have that. Well, I say, well, remember in Dallas. So like
Just the beginning.
Remember. So like, and I don't want to believe that that's as good as it gets, but man, wow, what a great way to be able to go into this next week. We're getting back in. Like we really showed up and showed out in a really exciting way. I was
it just feels really good to be a Packer fan.
Oh, 100%. And I have some apologies to make to Jordan Love for sure. I'm sorry, man. I was off. I definitely was just going based on what I saw. It's a lot of noise out there. You get sucked in. But I'll tell you who didn't lose faith. It was Matt LaFleur the whole time. And his strategy with how to manage this Christian Watson coming back situation was brilliant. If you look at his play, he was strictly doing weird timing routes, running to the outside and then blocking, or being a decoy, or making sure he was doing a play that looked like a high percentage play so that they pulled in all kinds of coverage. So then Romeo Doubs could get wide open on so many different situations. I mean, it was a zone beater after zone beater. And again, just nobody let each other down. That it was a good called game. It was a good strategy. The execution from the quarterback was beyond brave and admirable. He took some major shots to complete these balls. And the wide receivers did not drop balls that were catchable almost entirely. There's a plenty of balls here that could have not been caught, and I was just blown away by Romeo Doubs in particularly, who did not drop a ball all game, and also just was Mr. Clutch all year. Your legacy is made in the playoffs. Your money is made in the regular season. Your legacy, who you are, how you're remembered, that happens in the playoffs. And Romeo Doubs, he's a superstar today. So like I'm to me, his stock's gone up dramatically because that it takes a clutch individual to walk into this situation, see the opportunity, and just not hesitate. And that's what I saw to this team time and time again. Lack of hesitation and lack of them feeling like the confidence was just oozing out.
Yeah, Doubs had been quiet at the end of the season. He had carried us through the first half or first 3 quarters of the season, but mysteriously quiet for the last couple of games of the season. And I feel like it's because he's the one guy who'd seen a full season before and knew to pace himself on that, maybe back off just a little, just to get there, just to have the energy, the legs for the postseason. And it's crazy to say of a second-year guy that he's, the veteran move of pacing yourself. But I think that's what showed with Doubs was just the experience and took advantage of the opportunity. So, yeah.
Got that extra blood out of his lung. That's what he needed. Yeah, he got that blood out of his lungs. And I can finally fucking focus, And someone put a bunch of blood in my chest. I had to cough it out. Now I'm ready to roll. That's how winners do it. How winners do it. Hey, can we talk about the defense, guys? I'm pretty jazzed about the defense. Hey, is there anything you wanted to say about the Wild?
Talk about Jones, baby.
I would love to talk about Aaron Jones, the guy that carried this team through the fucking game at some point.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We can talk defense too, bro.
No, I'd love to talk about Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones,
boy, again, Remember when we were so mad at Coach Matt? How are you only running Aaron Jones 12 times a game? What's wrong with you? You have Aaron fucking Jones and you're not running him. Well, look at us now. Could you think of another situation that a 29-year-old Aaron Jones is now in his fucking prime in the playoffs?
Guy looked 10 years younger, man.
Dude, the
It
guy's
was insane.
always beat up by the end of the year. The fact that he had those games off, that he had those specific injuries, in a lot of ways, I think that life is timing, and the timing is lining up for Aaron Jones to be an all-time greatest running back in Green Bay Packers history. For me, you got to find a way to re-sign this guy. His leadership, his personality, it's exactly what this team's about. If there's one guy on this team that I feel like exemplifies who the Packers are at this point, to me, it's Aaron Jones. As much as Jordan Love is developing before our very eyes, like Aaron Jones' heart, his willingness to play through stuff, his willingness to play beyond his size, his speed, his everything, go out there and throw dudes around, make blocks against fucking linemen. I mean, that's it. This is what the game's all. This is exactly a perfect Packer to me.
And he's a running back who has fun. And that's a huge thing. When you can have all that fun and bring that to the sidelines, it changes the whole dynamic. And there was no fun to be had on the Cowboys sideline last weekend. Not an ounce. We were having a good time. So I think, Aaron Jones on that alone, but the performance too. The 3 touchdowns, the running through guys, and it's because he's fresher than everybody else. What a thing.
Taking hits, giving hits, stiff arming, making juke moves like Amon Green, man, crawling for those extra 3 yards for first downs, finding out routes, working also as as blockers for the receiving core. Like I can't say enough about the guy. All of a sudden, it just again, it was like a decade, just like it was like we put him in stasis and he just crinkled off the ice and he's like, I'm ready, motherfuckers. Let me show you what I'm about. Let me show you passion. Let me show you drive. It's like he's got that Keyshawn Nixon craziness about him with that mentality of the experience that he's got on the field. And I got to tell you, man, my jaw was on the floor the whole time. I could not believe what I was seeing from somebody that is as old as he is. And I say that old, I've got years on this guy, but I could not be happier with his mentality on and off the field, being the guy that is normally the hype guy. And then to watch him become the guy that has to be the hype guy for other players on the team, being stuck, just junkie scratching on the sidelines, but being there and supporting, even following him on Twitter and shit, just what an amazing athlete and human being.
Positive light. He's a positive light. There's so much toxic, negative shit that's swirled around his era of the Packers. And this guy consistently remembers what the game is about, remembers his being a kid, remembers his dad, writes pops on his wrists, wears his dad in a necklace. This guy appreciates the Green Bay Packers and the experience he had. And I heard an interview with Amon Green a long time ago on the radio, and he had talked about how he reached out to Aaron Jones. This is before he got his current contract, and told him when he left, when Amon Green left and went to Houston, that he thought that was a huge mistake, and he got a big payday. But ultimately, he wished he would have gotten a fraction of that to stay a Green Bay Packer, because the magic and the reality of being a Packer was the most amazing part of just playing football his entire career, all the sacrifice. And when you leave for that money, even when you get it, it's not the same. And when he came back, he wishes he never would have left. And I feel like I wish we never would have let him leave either. If we can get Aaron Jones at a more reasonable deal, I say we give him 3 more years, because he seems like the kind of running back you can run at 32 as long as you're pacing him right. And I think the proof is in the pudding. You don't need to have a 1,200-yard season to have value in this league. You can show it's when.
That's where I'll disagree with you.
No, it's when are you ready to play? Not if you can play. Week 1, he looked like a killer. And he got hurt.
I get it. But
now
I say
the end of the
from a
year, he was
numbers
just killer.
you're a businessman. You also understand that just because you have an amazing couple games and even maybe a last half of the season after the injuries he's had, I also can't condone spending the money to extend a contract for a question mark because, and here's why, look at the team that we have. We have this young team. We can put miles and years on this team. It doesn't mean that we can spend the money to keep around somebody that might not show.
Well, his contract as it stands has one more year on it, and it's an unreasonable number. So that's not going to work. So what our choice is to either restructure that deal, or Jerry Jones is definitely going to be calling because he's like, we're just one Packers away, guy. One X-Packers something. We got to get ourselves a cooler, a Packers cooler in there, and then we'll get it. Then we'll have enough. That's it. It wasn't Rodgers. It wasn't the coach.
Well, hang on. Mayhew, if you got to choose between Jordan Love and Aaron Jones, who you taking? Who you spending the money on?
Well, that's not the question.
Well, Chaz, first off, that's a fucked up question. And second, I'm sorry, first and foremost, I think your take is absolutely horrible. I think Aaron Jones is not only the heart and soul of this team currently, but I don't see him slowing down to a point where, like, motherfucker, yes, sign him next year if you can. Team friendly, absolutely. Sure. Boys, 3 TDs. This guy, we're talking about Jordan Love right now on Sunday. Yep. Aaron Jones is 50%, if not more, of the reason we won this game, and he is critical going into Saturday against San Francisco. We'll touch on that a little bit more. Quick couple of numbers for you. Fun facts. He had 4 runs over 10 yards. He forced 4 missed tackles, scored 3 touchdowns, and produced 7 other first downs. Chaz, one of which was receiving. Okay. Motherfucker had 21 carries for 118 yards, averaging 5.6. Now, my question to you, Chaz.
Yes, sir.
Is that if A.J. Dillon is healthy, is he going to fuck this whole thing up? Because the fact that he hasn't been has forced Matt's hand into what we wanted to see. Like, dude, we're at the end of the year here. Can we just give Jones the ball as many fucking times as it takes? I don't care. What?
Yeah, I say run that horse till his knees fucking blow out and we turn him into glue. Yeah, I say get him on the goddamn field, and until he literally either breaks his neck, breaks a leg, or snaps an Achilles tendon, yeah, I say we run him till he dies. And you know what? He'll be happy to do it. He will get out there and he will give you everything, sombrero on and all. I'm saying HGH, motherfucker. Let's go.
That might be what's going on, and I'm fine with it. But no, but really, I think I like Matt's strategy, guys. I'm sorry. Emmanuel Wilson, did those yards do anything? Did those carries do anything for us? I don't know. Probably not. But it did beat up their line for a second. We need a hammer to go with the Lightning. I love that Jones is willing to run between the tackles. I love that. By
the way,
but what's that?
The
hammer to go with the lightning. That's what they say in the industry.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, the old lightning industry. No, you need the Thunder to go with the Lightning. I like in this next game we're gonna need body blows because if they hit him square, he's not usually gonna be the hammer. He's usually gonna be the nail. And I just feel like we need someone to come back while he gets a breather and then comes back on the field. I like the way we play Aaron Jones. I don't think we need to run him into the ground for him to be wildly effective. At this point, I agree. It's the end of the year. You put your best players in the best position to win. You do what you got to do. Certainly in this game, I think him through the air is a huge mismatch and a positive thing for where we're heading. But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to get him hurt because he is such an important part of our team. He is the straw that stirs the drink, as they used to say on the Cowboys. Like, he really is a special difference maker of confidence on this team when he's available. So I don't know. I like it both ways.
Tyson, I like where your head's at, and I appreciate it. I'm flipping back here through all the games, and it's tough because Jones was injured for a good portion of the year. But when both were 100% ready to roll, man, it was way too much of like a 60-40 split that I think Jones can't get it going, and Dillon is just not meant for certain aspects of the game. And they were like forcing it, I'm like, dude, you can relieve Jones with Dillon, but just give the man the fucking ball as much as possible. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that there was a lot of question marks about AJ Dillon, and they wanted to get those question marks answered, and I think they did. I think they know
I think you're right.
what AJ Dillon is now. We tried the whole feature back thing with him. He's a 3-yard to carry back, power back at that. And I think if we use him, accept that for that's what AJ Dillon is going to be. Then I think he's great. But I don't think we're going to sign him as a feature back. And I think now we know what he is and what he isn't. And
I wouldn't write
Jones
him
is a
off, though,
fucking
man.
feature back.
I really wouldn't write him off yet because, again, if just because he's got some beef on him, we've seen him go for 35 yards. We've seen him go for 40 yards. It's not that he doesn't have these runs in him, but again, he's also a younger player, and I think given the time to expand his game with the people, and that's the thing, man. The thing about this franchise I find, which has been proven just with our quarterbacks, is that it's a guild system. The old teaches the young. If you get guys in such a great spot, you can teach them to be better than they are and push them to be better than they could be. And if with a guy like Jones teaching Dion, I think there's nothing to say that he couldn't be the next amazing running back for us.
Yeah, I'm fine if you want to bring him. If you want to bring AJ Dillon back at like 4 years, $18 million, I'm down with that. But if we're talking about 4 years, $32 million, I don't like it.
I was thinking just like a Reebok deal and like maybe a parking spot.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be plowed. It's always going to be a plowed
deal.
spot. Always a plowed spot. Ty, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Come on,
for
baby.
VIPs.
That means a lot in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Only for
in January,
VIPs,
baby.
yeah. That's worth its weight in gold right there.
Parking's
Green
hard
and
up
gold,
there.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk defense or what we're going to say,
I'd
Ty?
love to. Are we ready to go
Either way.
defense now? I feel
I
like,
feel like you're about to say something.
Hang
Hang on. Wait, real
Either
quick.
way.
Let me ask Ty. Ty, what were you about to say?
I was
talk
going to
about the
chime in
defense
on
real
the
quick.
running back situation, but we can go to
No!
defense.
No,
You
go,
do
go.
it.
Go,
Get
some.
it out.
I would like to see a third running back in this scheme. And the reason is because we've proven with the balance that we have now that fresh legs work. You know, Dion in the third quarter will give you 6 runs that are just Herculean. You know what I mean? And he's unstoppable. And how is he able to do that? Because Jones took most of the second quarter. You know, and it's like, and if you got a third guy who could come in on what is quite frankly BS downs, like a 2nd and 2 run, where, you know, okay, he doesn't get it, fine. I think a grindy, gritty, grimy addition to what we have will alleviate the Jones age worries, the Dillon health worries, and it'd be great for the Packers. So keep what we have, but just add to it, I think, in the running back department.
Yeah, I'd like to see us hit free agency up for that department in particular. I just think that there's always I see teams get running backs. I'm like, how the fuck did they get that guy? And you look up their contract, they're making like $1.8 million. I'm like, why didn't we sign that guy? He's good, you know. So I would love for that position for a rotation, running back by committee. And I think Jones is a reasonable guy. I think he's gonna want to stay a Packer. I think we're gonna find a way to get that done.
I like that take, Tyson. I'll say too, just based off of what these drafty or the smart people are saying, is that running back class of this year is like one of the poorest it's been in a very long time. But they can say that shit, man. We find people in the 5th and 6th round that are like home run hits. Maybe we take a swing at a couple of cats, would be my opinion. Be like, let's bring in some fresh blood, see if we maybe strike gold somehow. But free agency seems like a good tool as well.
Yeah. Let's talk about the defense.
With that, my friends, let's move into a little bit of defense, and I want to start by saying first and second most. I want to show just this one play, which I think was probably my favorite defensive play of the entire game. I think we all know what I'm about to show here. It's not
just
crazy.
Promise it's going to load slow. No, okay,
it's going to load real slow.
Okay,
I mean, are you kidding me?
I can't.
Are you kidding me?
I can't stay mad at you. I can't hate you. I tried.
I know. Same. I was writing this guy off.
Just when I try to quit this guy, here he comes again.
Here he comes again.
And you know what a weird thing is? This guy's hurt nearly all the fucking time.
All the time.
That's 2 games in a row. He's had a pick 6, folks. Sure, they're 8 games apart, but those are the last 2 games he played or whatever it is. He's actually been had
He had
some
another
pretty
pick
good
six.
games.
I mean, he just, it's just gorgeous from a team that doesn't
For a
do
second.
this.
Look at that, gentlemen. The second quarter with less than 2 minutes to go, our score was 27-0. Now, don't get me wrong. They scored. They had, they got a little bit of pointy going on there. Again, I'm just licking the fingers of just the tears of all of these Dallas fans. It was, there's no better feeling in the world than to beat the shit out of this team, even more so than I think the Bears.
Guys, I just love that by the second quarter, our defense was throwing an offensive line with 3 all-pros. 3 all-pros. And our defensive line with no fucking Pro Bowlers was throwing them around, was resetting the line, was destroying their holes, we're in the backfield when you want to be. I mean, it was incredible. I pray McDuffie can find a way to play, because that guy brings an energy of how the middle linebackers attack the line. It just looks like a different defense, which it shouldn't for like a backup middle linebacker, but just his fearlessness is contagious. And I loved what I was seeing out of Slayton, Kenny, and Big Slate and Devontae Wyatt. I mean, that nucleus of the middle defensive linemen have like really kind of bloomed it at the same time. And it's the excitement I was hoping for in the preseason.
Not to mention just being able to shut down CD Lamb for the entire game.
Oh yeah.
Give it up, guys. Give me a little salt. Give me a little pepper. Like, this was supposed to be a game changer for this team and has been all season. How
that guy was bulletproof all year long. The guy didn't have a bad game all year long. All he did was light it up.
I don't know who was doing blood magic against this guy, but
they weren't
fucking
prepared.
I mean, you saw that play where Jair literally pushes him in the back after the play is dead, just to let him know. And I got to say, like, CD didn't turn around and react to it, but that was essentially the entire game for this guy. What?
Yeah.
Yes, he also caught 9 for 110 yards, but
when was that?
Most of those were fourth quarter yards, though.
Yeah,
They really were.
Yeah.
He didn't have his first catch, I think, until early in the second half. So.
No, there was a lot of missed connections.
Oh, sorry, I was
But
looking at Russian.
everyone was off in that game. You could tell, like, I swear to God, you can look at these guys' face before the game and you can see it in their eyes. And I saw Dak and I'm like, that guy looks spooked. I saw McCarthy. He looked like a fucking dyslexic trying to read the Cheesecake Factory menu. He's just staring at the play sheet, just trying to figure out what I'm going to call. Nobody talk to me. And you could just feel they were panicking across the board. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm good. I feel good. Are you good? I'm definitely good. I'm definitely good." Like, the denial was like thick. I mean, it was a lot of pressure, but a lot of it came from the defense. And I have to say, our defense showed up in a lot of ways. There was a point where they got smart. They fucking took some smelling salts. Like, wait a minute. We're playing the Green Bay Packers. Spread them out. And then it started working. But until that happened, until they fucking came out of their light concussion that we gave them, I mean, they didn't think of anything creative that our defense wasn't ready for. And as a result, we had 2 picks in the first half that, like, those balls should have never been thrown. Like, how do you not see that? Because we just know that's the play you're going to run. And you're just like, we just got to get something going. Let's go do what we do. It's so obvious to me how much they look past us. But again, none of that matters if we miss tackles. None of that matters if we don't get pressure. And our defense got that done. And we executed a pretty impressive first half of defensive play that my jaw was on the floor from them as well. Thoughts on the defense, guys? Ty, what do you like?
Well, I liked every one of those linebackers. I thought Quay and Smith came to just play. I think Campbell held up nicely. We were wondering before the game last week, we talked about will Campbell be able to fill so much of a role? I thought he held his own. The secondary looked better than it had all year. And I don't know, is it how much of this credit goes to the coaches? Because they seem to have every one of those players prepared and ready to go. They kept everybody calm, right? The Cowboys, like you were saying, playing with anger and panic. And I felt like we had the same demeanor, whether it was the aggressiveness on defense or the collectedness. I just thought, wow, these coaches are blowing my mind that they have everybody on the same page and everybody's ready to go.
I also to me, it looked like the Dallas defense was just like guessing a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like they were sitting back, waiting to react and guessing. They looked like our defense on our worst day. And that's where I also was like the decisiveness on both sides of the ball is what destroyed their chances. You can't come back against a team that's that quick and sure of themselves. You know, I've watched us lose games like that. So it was just so rewarding to see us turn around and play what I would consider a near perfect fucking performance. And I just loved offensively anyway. There was a point in the second half where defense, was losing the way that we lose. Were you guys concerned when we were up by that many points at that point in the year? I know Chazzy was, but Mayhew, how do you feel about that? Was there a point where you started getting nervous when they're coming back second half?
Well, I want to jump in and just talk about the defense in general, where for me, Tyson, it was actually the first time the entire season cohesively it was the most sound I've ever seen. You take away the two incredible plays. First off, Darnell Savage's pick 6, they timed that was faster speed than Tyreek Hill's touchdown run against Kansas City. Wow. Motherfuckers running the snow like -30. But I'm just saying, you go back and you look, this guy is, I don't know, maybe he might be a piece of the puzzle. Ja getting his pick, dude, that was just textbook, knowing how to play the cornerback position, really huge. But everybody seemed assignment sound. Everybody seemed aggressive. Everybody seemed like it wasn't too big for them for the first time all fucking year. And so I welcome it, and I hope it continues. Obviously, we go into the second half when you have that kind of lead. They start pulling out starters. They start doing some weird things, playing the softest prevent defense I've maybe ever seen. And I just don't think that's part of just look at the first 3 quarters. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me feel I'm excited. I'm excited about this next week. Tyson, what was your original question? Sorry.
Oh, I was just
I know.
I was asking about what you thought about the defense. But I like where you're at, where you went. I think it's great. Mayhew, what I really want to know, were you concerned, Mayhew? My question is, were you concerned when we started falling behind later in the game? Was there a point where you're like, here we go again? Sure, we're up by like 2 or 3.5 scores, but here they come. Did you feel like we were going to let this team back in the game?
No, Tyson. At no point during the second half was I concerned that we weren't going to kick these motherfuckers in the dick. Chaz, the only point I get concerned now is when we're kicking extra points, because that's our Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I like the whole room quiets down. They start talking like, shut the fuck up. Just shh.
I would say, Anders, don't you get a fucking sugarfoot now, you son
well,
of a
you say
bitch.
you gotta say park it like a yacht, guys. And if you don't say it, park it like a yacht. Park it like a yacht.
I saw 26 coming back to bite us, man. I ever since, just for this game specifically, with that extra point win and our comeback that we had with that sideline out, like I was just like, this is going to be the thing. It's going to be the kicking. Even though we were up again by 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, and 2 onside kicks, I'm still sitting there just chomping at the bit, chewing my nails off. Like,
here's my next thing too, right? Okay, so this guy we drafted because he has a leg. They brought him out there to kick like a 70-yard field goal against Detroit or like whatever it was, right?
Yep.
But on every ensuing kickoff, he lands it inside the 5. Are we inviting the other team to maybe, because we're like, we'll get you inside the 20? No,
it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
So you're
We do
telling me
get
that
them
it's
inside the
planned.
25.
Let me answer your question with a
Seems like we're
question.
getting them before they get to the 25 when we do that. So
I would
yeah,
love that. Yeah. Okay.
Buddy's
like a 15,
explanation for this,
18.
the
Go.
Buddy Ingram, his explanation for this was, which Tyson, I know you'll hate. Oh, we did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Here's what we do. We let them catch up just a little bit so that they feel like they got it. And then we cut the legs out from under them, first and foremost.
Oh yeah, I love your
T-Bone, if
dad.
it's methodical and like our special teams is that confident, and they should not be given everything I know about our special teams, then they're just way smarter than I am, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
The next level. They're playing chess. You're playing checkers, Mayhew. Okay, that's what's going on.
I'm playing fucking jacks over here, just bouncing. All right, yeah.
Ty, how about you? How about you? Were you panicking at any point here, or were you just cackling as the clock was ticking down like me?
Yeah. At no point, right there with Mayhew. At no point in the second half was I concerned. That score was just too big. I did love to see Sean Clifford come in. I love that they just kind of were like, no, this thing's over. There were so many statements made and messages sent through whether it's taking the ball on the opening drive, and then having that ball for 8 minutes, or putting in Sean Clifford. I think that it was LaFleur he was playing with McCarthy's head, and it was clear that it was working, and it was working big time. It was exactly like you said. I love trying to read the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Yeah, just like to get the Cheesecake Factory. That is a bad combination.
Down and looking at the back of it, and it was just like
it's all spinning around. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like, no, I'm fine. I'm doing this. I want this job. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah. No.
He started asking people for new menu. He was so confused.
And this is not a shot against dyslexics, okay?
No.
I'm not saying
I
you're
appreciate
any
that.
way.
Thank you very much. I
Mike
appreciate that.
McCarthy.
I appreciate that.
I respect you the way you process life, but yeah, Mike was having a hard time. You could tell he was thinking like, God, I shouldn't have bought that second boat. Where the fuck am I going to store that? You could tell he was like, I'm going to lose my job.
That was just it. I was not concerned for the
right.
Packers score at all, but I was concerned that Jerry Jones is just going to call down to the sideline and fire Mike McCarthy partway through the fourth quarter.
Fellas, do you know any other individual that hasn't been on the hot seat every day of their life since like 2013?
Right,
I swear to God, it's like August.
record
Like the
is
season
incredible,
just started. And they're like, I don't know. He might not make it through the year. It's like,
Yeah.
Plus, can you imagine going from a fandom like ours to going to a fandom like theirs, where every single year they literally will wait by your car just to fucking shank you? Like, at least we're like, when we say next year, we mean like we'll still be here next year. We'll support you next year. We're not gonna burn our shit. We're not gonna chase you down the street like you're Frankenstein. Like, you're back here, you son of a bitch. Down here, it gets fucking pew pew, motherfucker. I'd rather work and live for a franchise that's based around quote unquote love, as opposed to you live and die by every yard for this goddamn franchise in Texas. It's terrible.
Yeah, and they mostly die. So like it is. I want to get into the Cowboys. Can we break down the Cowboys real quick, guys?
Hold on,
Because I
let me
feel
just
like I'm ready to
double-check.
put these fuckers in the ground, because we pretty much not only did we there are two teams that we showed up and dismantled. Like, you showed up to a war with a socket wrench and just took apart their tank, and they're like, oh shit, nothing works. Oh, what do we do? The Bears and the Cowboys are questioning every single thing about
Ruined
who
their
they are
franchises.
after they
Ruined
played
their
us
franchises.
both times. They don't know. They're ready to fucking press the red button and blow it all up. And I just want to kind of go back and to be fair, can I just talk about Jerry Jones for a second?
pew pew.
Pew pew.
Go ahead.
So there was a time when this league had a ceiling, right? And it wasn't very high. These guys were not making big money. They had to do ads and they weren't good. And, you know, they weren't taken care of. And there became a big influx of money into the NFL. And Jerry Jones had a lot to do with that in the 90s. He showed up as some slick ass Texas businessman, and he slid in there to the current lizards running the fucking show. And he said, listen, boys, I got an idea. Now, what if we just had all these TV contracts, and what we can get is a boatload of money, and we'll all get rich? And they went for it. And he changed the game, not unlike Jerry Buss changed the NBA. He came in and saw where the league needed to go. He was a smart enough businessman to be ahead of the trend, and he made that league a lot of money and a lot of notoriety. And I will give that same credit to Mr. Jerry Jones. But in his process in the beginning, he sold his soul, the whole thing, to the devil to get that dirty ass 3 Super Bowls with the 90s Cowboys, cover up all their indiscretions. I don't think he understands
Covered up a lot of
amount
yacht
of
rape.
No, I don't think he understands the amount of pressure he created and has sustained by playing president, essentially, with his own franchise. It benefited the league. It benefited his investments. It destroys the mental status of your team to have your owner have 4 radio addresses a day where you got to go out and act like you're the president of the Cowboys of the United States of America, and everyone needs to hear what you have to say. And you're wasting and creating this massive, massive burden of expectation. And he lays it on extra thick, and he pays you. But he's the guy that pays you. And like, now don't forget, I want you to do well. That's why I'm giving you this check and not letting it go. And you're like, okay. He's like, yeah, and I'm going to give you the money, but I want to make sure you're giving everything you got. Now, like, just fucking pay the guy. You know what I mean? The way he pays you also makes you hate him. And I just think that the world more or less has passed him by. Okay. And he is the last motherfucker alive, him and his fucking weird sons that he wants to be the king and hand this fucking thing down to. They're the last ones to know that he is the biggest and only reason the Dallas Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl. And until he's dead and in the fucking ground, mark my words, the Dallas Cowboys will not win a Super Bowl because the football gods don't see them fit. They go for the wrong reasons. They go for the wrong guys. The means don't justify the ends. You're creating a difficult situation for troubled athletes, and it doesn't work out over and over and over. He always has stars. He always goes, but he doesn't know shit. Oh, the Packers keep beating me. We'll get the Packers quarterback or Packers coach. That quarterback's gone. We don't even need to worry about the Packers. Oh no, they beat us again. So it is just a constant reminder that Jerry Jones clearly does not understand what it takes to maintain and build a team and when to get the fuck out of the way. And the reason why that team is dead is because of him. And the reason why the Packers are where they're at now is that we don't have an owner. Their owner's dying. Our owners live forever. We're the vampires of the league. We're the only ones that are not driven by some old rich man dying and saying, I need it before I die. I don't care what it costs. And then his son goes up and says, Daddy, I need about $1.57 million for Dak. And we gonna win the Super Bowl. And he's like, all right, let's go get it. Every single time. And it doesn't work. Money, you can't buy true greatness. And he is not a good GM. So I just think that until he's dead, they're not going to win shit. And all this problem, it rolls downhill. He hired the worst coach for that situation. He manages stars well. He's proven the game has passed him by. But if you have a guy who doesn't know any better, there you go. A lot of people talk about a team's window. A lot of teams talk about window, right? A window's open. You got this window of success. I'd like to say more an ensemble of individuals has a lifespan of success. Before the success damages them, before the success actually becomes a reason why they can't stay together financially, contractually, ego-wise, one way or another, that success is not sustainable for a long time. The Packers have broken the mold in so many ways with this team, guys. This team has a very long stretch that we can be a competitive contender for the Super Bowl, the way that we built it. The Dallas Cowboys built it the old way of just grabbing everything you can. And he hired the tuna, it didn't work. Brought in Terrell Owens, it didn't work. You bring in all these stars, it doesn't work. The difference is that we created a culture. And at the end of the day, it's the helmet, man. It's the reason why we're great. It's the brand. It's who we are. Our team is what football is supposed to be. A community love for the effort that they give and them feeling a connection to not only what the sport has meant to so many people before, but those people that live right around the corner, that their whole life revolves around this team and they love them whether they win or they lose. We're never going to not have a stadium full. I don't even know if Jerry's selling out games. I just think that we have a very different set of concerns that any other owner doesn't have to worry about or doesn't have. They have a list of worries that we don't have to think about. That was poorly worded, but you know what I mean, guys. I just think that we are going to continue to beat teams like the Bears and the Cowboys because shit rolls downhill and it's really hard to overcome terrible ownership. And I've never been more proud to call myself an owner of the Green Bay Packers, because what we are building, it's bigger than any one rich guy can hire someone to make them feel good about it.
And now commercial break time.
And with that, let's take a commercial break.
With that,
Have this commercial. It's for you.
As a Bears fan, all I have is watching the Packers lose in the playoffs. 3rd and 2. They hand it off. Great start, Dallas! Dak. Was that picked? It's fucking Jair Alexander. Pressure's coming. Get to him. No. Fucking way! 21-0! 2nd and 2. This is over. The Packers are... Fucking Dallas! What are you doing? All I know is pain. He's got 3 touchdowns! Oh my God, it's open. It's over. It's over. Love is him. They have their next great quarterback. That NFC North is fucked.
Oh my God, I love that.
Dude, did they actually record themselves just like in disparity?
Oh,
my
dude,
God, there's so
he's one of
much
my
out there.
favorites. He's one of my absolute favorites.
That was
There's
pretty
so
good,
much.
Chaz. That was pretty good.
Oh my God,
I gotta fix.
Sat around and like just laughed and listened to. Remember those Cowboys podcasts I told you that were super slow talking podcasts? I just went and checked back in, and you should have heard the temper tantrums. I mean, I was just cackling, lying there listening. It was hilarious. In fact, I started to feel like this might not be good for the team if I keep just laughing at other people's pain and tasting their tears, as Chaz would say.
Yeah,
That didn't stop Chaz though.
We've got special guest Shane from Shawano.
Look out! Shane from Shawano, everybody.
Well, how's it fucking going, you stupid fuckers?
Good. Feel good, Shane.
Yeah.
Feeling great.
Fucking New Year to you guys.
Same to you.
It's cold. It's cold outside. And it's fucking playoff time.
Woo.
That special time of year where the water freezes over and it's colder than shit on the job site. And you're trying to push 2 inches of pecker through 4 inches of Carhartt every time you gotta go. How's it fucking going?
It's going good.
It's so good, man. Yeah.
I am excited for the playoffs. And I don't know if you guys noticed that little ditty playing back there in the background, but that was written by my friend. He's a fucking country singer. His name is Magic Fingers, and he's from Fondy. Thank you so much, Chaz, for entertaining that idea and making it happen.
You're welcome.
I met my friend Magic Fingers, and that's Magic with a J, similar to Don Mikowski. Magic and I met at Osh Vegas at Country USA, and he taught me how to fold a fucking Bush Light box into a cowboy hat, and we became good friends after that. So,
Sounds like a great time. Solid time.
Real quick, Shane.
Aldine, but he's fucking pretty good.
Shane.
Yes, Chaz, speak to me. Oh, I have been wearing mine every day, day and night. I even got it snagged in some of my chest hairs the other day in bed. Are you enjoying your necklace?
I have an alloy allergy to it, but I wear it every day.
Oh, yeah. Well, it should not be alloy. That is real sterling. T-Bone, how you doing with your cheese? Is it? I can tell you've been eating cheese based off of the Pats' performance.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of cheesing up on D. I got to tell you, it was Shane. I don't know how far this playoff run is going to go, but I sure hope this block of cheese makes it, because as of right now, it's holding strong. I'm wrapping it tight between games. But yeah, we're chopping it down pretty good, and it is it's a potent magic brick, I must say. Every time I cheesed up this last game, I mean, I got 2 picks, I got about 3 stops. All it did was succeed. I have not had any failure on cheese up on D in almost 2 games, and I'm being sparse with it, and I have to say, gifted cheese is luckier than bought yourself.
And I want to thank you for cheesing up for Chaz, everybody on this podcast, because I have not been able to do
a lot of cheese for Chaz.
Thank you.
A lot of cheese.
Well, T-Bone, I knew that we could count on your wizardry and all the things that you do in your bar to make the Pack play the way they have been. And when I seen Jair grab that ball, I said, oh, yeah, T-Bone's got some cheese in his mouth. That's for damn sure right now.
Yeah, right. I was chewing it, actively chewing during the play.
Well, guys, playoff time is a special time. You know, like I've been saying all season long, this is a team of destiny. And I knew we were going to get this far. In fact, you know, again,
what you said.
Like I've been saying, Jordan Love is QB1, and he's just a guy that we can believe in.
You sound like Skip Bayless over here, fucking Colin Collard. Yeah, just like I said, check the tape.
We can review things if we want, but let's just go off the cuff here and just talk real talk. Jordan Love has what the kids call the Riz, okay? And it's real clear. And I knew it the whole season, and I was leading on to it every time I'd come on this pod, and you guys kind of shut me down, but I'm not going to go there. I want to stay positive, okay?
Appreciate that.
Just believe, you know?
That's good. It's good stuff. I couldn't agree more. You got to believe. You got to believe. Shane, your guy, Sean Clifford, got in for one play in this last game. Were you Were you over the moon at his performance? Were you excited that he gets a game check? I'm pretty sure he gets a good one for one snap. Are you getting a cut? Where are you at?
I thoroughly enjoyed Clifford coming in. I even actually sent the pale guy a message, which is very rare, just because of how uncomfortable he usually makes me feel. But I was very upset that he wasn't able to put the ball in the air, because I knew we were going to get a first down. But it don't matter. This is in the past. You know, we can talk about the past, but Sean Clifford's taken more snaps than Justin Fields, that's for sure, in the playoffs. So that's all that counts.
Shane, I got a question for you. What'd you think of seeing Mike McCarthy there on the opposing sideline for the Cowboys?
Well,
Old
Ty,
coach.
thanks for asking that. I was very emotional just because of the strong attachment I have to that era of football. Similar if I were to see Ray Rhodes over there, you know, in a Cowboy shirt coaching, I would feel the same way, because he was also a coach I really admired too.
Ray Rhodes, you're a Ray Rhodes guy. You don't hear that a lot.
Absolutely.
You like the way he chewed his gum and stared off into space. I always liked that move. He taught it to Sherman. He also was really great at chewing his gum and kind of staring at the scoreboard. I'm glad. I hope Matt can pick this up someday.
Anyone willing to fight Warren Sapp over Chad Clifton is in good regards in my book, Superfucker.
I thought they should have let him go at it. I think Sherman could have taken him. I'll be honest.
If he were able to get on top of him and sit, I think Sherman has a fair fight there.
Oh, he's got those pleated khakis.
He pops his head like a zit 10 times out of 10 every time. He snaps his spine like Predator 2 movie style. He just rips it right out. There's no way.
Sherman's
Mike
a lot of
Sherman,
passion.
he might be the only coach I wouldn't invite out ice fishing just for safety measures, okay? Those are 2 glazed Christmas hams in them slacks. And that'll crack the ice, you know? But hey, guys, I am excited not to just talk about the pack, but it is ice fishing time up here, and the hard water is ready to go, okay? And I, for one, am very excited to get my minnow wet, you know, and get out there and get the auger drill going.
So, Ty, this feels like more your segment, but Shane, are you a shanty guy, or you just plop a bucket out there and just nut it out there? You know, it sounds like it's hard to do cocaine off a bucket like that. So, what's the ice fishing protocol? I have a lot to learn.
It is extra windy, so I do like a shanty for protection, you know, and it just kind of reminds me of an old saying that we have up here. You know, you can share some of your ice fishing fish with a man, and he will eat for a day. But if you teach a man to ice fish, you can pretty much bang his wife every weekend. Because he's going to be busy out on the ice, you know? It's addicting. And that's why I'm at Lana.
The long con, I like it.
So anyway, guys, you know,
fishing.
This season is just bringing back memories, and a lot of people are talking about the 2010s and Rodgers, but I like to throw it back to 96. And if I may, guys, I'd like to share a Packer memory if I have time to get one in.
I love it.
All right.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Thank you so much, Chaz. Also, I'd like to just admire your gloves. Your hands look like extremely manly hands that can do a lot of different things and grip the wrench and all sorts of things. So I just really, really like what you're wearing today. Anyway, let me set the stage. The year was 1996. Okay. I was at the Shoney's in Shawano, finishing up my second plate of chicken and ribs.
Love Shoney's.
And Who
Did you get that with
doesn't
the? Did you get that with the country gravy?
Chaz, you already know. Just ladle it in my mouth.
That's right,
so
bub.
anyway, I go over to get a little fresh soft serve out of the soft serve. Serve your own. And there's quite a bit of ruckus over there in the line. And I step up to the plate, start dishing mine up, and I turn around, and who's standing behind me? But Don fucking Beebe.
Oh, shit.
He had just gotten traded from the Panthers to the Pack and fresh in town. And I turned around and I said, holy shit, you're Don fucking Beebe.
Fresh
And he
like
says,
soft serve.
"Me." And I shit you not. Kid, you're spilling ice cream all over the fucking floor. And that was an incredible time, you know, to be alive. And then we went to 2 Super Bowls with Don, you know. And a lot of people,
Don Beebe.
it just chaps my ass sometimes, guys. The recognition that Don Beebe don't get.
Yeah, I feel like he gets a fair amount. Anyway, hey, Shane, let's shoot ahead here. San Francisco
buddy,
49ers.
You know what really chaps my ass, pale guy? You know, nowadays everybody want to talk like they got something to say. And
But nothing comes out.
When they're moving their lips, just a bunch of gibberish.
Bunch of gibberish.
Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Don Beebe, you stupid fucker. God damn. Holy shit.
Man, you roasted him.
Man.
Yeah, real good. Anyway, Shane, we're winding down here. What are your thoughts going into this Saturday game against San Francisco 49ers? Do you think we got a shot? What's it going to take? Where's your head at?
I am so excited to get to the bar early and talk so fucking loud and just be obnoxious. I loathe San Francisco. I know we're going to come out and punch them right in the mouth. Or it's going to be T-Bone getting us cheesed up. They're going to fumble. I know that. One of them, the backs. Or
Remember, it's on Saturday, Shane. Don't forget, not Sunday. Don't fuck this up.
Thank you for reminding me,
Saturday
Chaz.
night.
Because real football is played on Sunday, except for in the playoffs. We can make an occasional exception.
And Monday, if you play for Buffalo in the afternoon.
Unless you're some sort of weird, like WWE juggalo fan, I don't really need to be talking about Buffalo too much. But thank you for bringing up, Chaz. I will entertain whatever you decide to bring into the show because you are the master of ceremonies. But I will say this, bud. San Francisco is famous for sourdough bread, Kimmy Gibbler, and defecating on the street anywhere you want, okay? And with that being said, they are due to give one up to us in the playoffs, and it is ours for the taking. They don't know what they don't know.
Hashtag Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah, I love it. They are
That's
that's all they got going for them. I never thought about that.
It's you know, Danny Tannerito and turd on the street, you know, that's what you got.
Whatever happened to late Dante Rosine?
Chaz, your smoky voice is honestly like
Paperboy, even on TV.
Really good.
I am also just going to mention this. I'm quite disappointed that the pale guy is not wearing a collared shirt because you are a numbers guy. And I did send you some self-help books and I did not receive anything back in return. And those cost me money on Amazon, bud. That ain't free. Okay.
Look, Shane, I got to apologize. And I left this shirt outside by the garbage cans. A family of possums actually came there and gave birth on top of it. It is covered in a lot of bad shit. We're going to get it cleaned up though. And we'll bring it back next episode.
Bud, just throw it in a snowbank for a while, throw it in a dry cleaner bag, and put that shit on. It's time, okay?
You got it, boss.
So anyway, guys, I think I got to get going. I don't quite know why. Really, I don't have anything to get to, but I can just tell that you guys don't want me on the show anymore tonight. Okay.
No, you're doing great. You're doing
Okay.
great.
Thank you, T-Bone, for
Shay,
bringing up
you got to remember, given the restraining order, you can only have less than 20 minutes of actual broadcast time. Otherwise, things get weird.
And that is exactly why on previous shows I ended up logging out so many different times to start the timer over and over and over again. So
He's a thinker. He's a thinker, folks. You outsmart that bracelet every time.
that's right. It's like when I had the tracker bracelet and I ended up slipping it off and then putting it on the neighbor's dog. It stayed in the yard and I was able to go out and do whatever I wanted. And
You took that snowmobile right to the next bar, didn't you?
You damn right. It was actually summertime and it was a Ranger tie, but you're right. You're right.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shane from Shawano.
Look out!
Hey, it's always great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening in. This episode was a little longer, and we didn't really get to talk about our opponents, so we're going to break this one up into 2 episodes this week. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and share, and the second episode will be out in just a little bit.
We're gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. It's mostly gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air conditioning, cause it's bound to get hot. 2 dads and a chance, you know we live it and we live it right. 2 dads and a chance, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. 2 dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.